You're listening to Coding Blocks, Episode 8.
Subscribe to us and leave us a review on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcasting app.
And visit us at codingblocks.net, where you can find show notes, examples, discussions, and all sorts of other stuff. Send your feedback, questions, and rants to comments@codingblocks.net, and make sure to follow us on Twitter @codingblocks.
Oh, and Facebook at facebook.com/codingblocks.
And Google Plus at Google Plus /A13742. Really long string of hex in there.
And
/plus/C/comment.
And don't forget about Flickr, flickr.com/photos/codingblocks.
Yeah, so totally. Holla! With that, welcome to Coding Blocks. I'm Alan Underwood.
Hey, I'm Joe Zach.
And I'm Michael Outlaw.
So if you haven't figured out, today's episode is going to be just pretty much a fireside chat here of things that we like and need and
What's
utilize.
on fire?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
When we get to burn something.
So today there are conversations that come up all the time. If you're a programmer and you sit around other programmers, there are things that drive you nuts. Like, we all have slight touches of OCD, and if we don't, then we probably shouldn't be programming. Some of us have a little more than others.
It's on the record. I only have a touch.
Yeah.
It's only a touch of OCD.
He'll be seeing his specialist or his psychiatrist later. But
gotta watch Wapner.
So we really want to just talk about the kind of things that come up in our daily, use of peripherals and things that you are constantly around when you're programming.
Or as I like to put it, tings I like.
Tings he likes. So the big thing and what brought this up is I just went on a quest for a new keyboard for work, and it's because my old Adesso decided it was going to start flaking out and just doing weird stuff, basically locking up my computer at various times.
It a dido.
It did a dido. And it was really frustrating because I personally am a huge fan of ergonomic keyboards. I love them. And my Adesso had the trackpad built into it, so I never had to take my hands.
Nice.
Oh, dude, never had to take my hands off the keyboard.
I hated that keyboard.
Hold on.
It was horrible.
No, but this is why it was so great. Not only
this itty bitty little trackpad that was like for like a midget, like
That's all you need. I'm very precise.
this thing you got like two 24-inch monitors to scroll across.
But dude, you could move your finger across that little 2-inch space and go all the way across all your monitors if you want. It was fantastic.
I use shortcuts anyway.
It wasn't even this, like a MacBook Pro has a larger trackpad than this thing.
All right, but so check it out. So here's the beauty, right? Like you had your hands laying on this keyboard at the perfect angle, right? Like perfect. And you didn't never have to take your hands off the keyboard. You just move your finger over and you can just be moving around the
I
screen.
offended some people.
So that's nice. I'm actually a big fan of mechanical keyboards, but there aren't a whole lot of those that are ergo. But there is one that I forget the name of right now.
The Adesso?
The Adesso.
The Adesso Kinesis. Oh,
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, not Adesso.
Not
the
the
Kinesis Freestyle is what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, which is a $300 gargantuan keyboard.
But okay, so ergonomic keyboards are fine and well and do, and I know that there's a lot of people that like them. You're a big fan of them, obviously, and I know, they're all ergonomically correct. Blah 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 blah. But I tend to not like the ergonomic keyboards because I like the lowest common denominator, and like more often than not, you're going to be given a flat keyboard.
That's
right,
right.
like laptops. Look at the three of us right now. The laptops that are in front of us right now. We all have flat keyboards that came on that.
You take what you're given all the time, though?
Well, no, but it's my point is that I might as well get used to like what's there, because that's going to be more often than not what I'm going to be using, rather than something that's shaped like a spaceship that I got to like.
I disagree. How long do you sit at your computer at work programming on your computer?
Well, all day. But,
right. So we're talking 8 to 9 to 10 hours a day, correct?
But then when you go from one computer to the next computer, you might as well get used to. It's already there.
I disagree. Whatever you were working on, I'm
not saying that my wrists are healthy for it.
Let's take the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time you're going to be at your desk working on, whether you're at home or whether you're at work, you're going to be working on something. Now, when you take your laptop and you go sit in a chair somewhere, fine, I get that. You can deal with that. But what I'm saying is the comfort. Let's take your same thing. So we'll go back to this in a minute, but your big thing is chairs. Like you have a Mac Daddy chair.
We'll come back to the
but
chairs.
hold on. Why are you going to get used to that one when, most of the time you're not going to be sitting in that chair?
We'll come back to that. But no, so, okay. So speaking of keyboards, right? I too recently went, because my favorite was a simple plain Logitech. I don't even remember. It was like a K520 or something like that. But it was simple. It was flat, and I liked it. Had a really nice feel to it. And more importantly to me was that the keys were laid out well. The function keys, the number keys,
The controls, the alts.
Yeah, all of that was just laid out like it's supposed to be. So that I'm a big fan of that keyboard. But then I had to replace it, and what I replaced it with at work was another Logitech, the Logitech Wave, which isn't quite your typical split keyboard design ergonomic, but it's somewhere between that split keyboard ergonomic design and a cross between that and like the Kinesis, where there's this multi-dimensional level of keys, right? It's somewhere between that. So I thought that was a nice
It's a good looking keyboard.
compromise.
One of the frustrating things about it, though, and the reason I ultimately did not buy this keyboard, was when I looked at it. Most of the keys are good. It's not curved enough for me for the ergonomic feel. But what did it in for me and just absolutely killed it was this layout of the home, the delete, the page up, page down.
Oh no, I will admit, I do hate that.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I look at
I
that.
can't tell you how many times I have gone thinking I'm hitting the N key, only to find out I'm hitting, like, I don't even remember what it was, like the insert key or something like that. Like those keys are wrong, and they did it wrong. There's another problem with that one though too, is that that I don't like, and I didn't notice this before I bought it, but the caps lock. There's no indicator on the keyboard itself that you have enabled caps lock.
Well, if I'm dropping some money on a keyboard, I better be able to reassign that caps lock, because I never use that button, and it's in like prime time location.
But dropping some money on a keyboard, like how much are we talking? Like, I mean, keyboards literally range from $10 to
$15
to $1,000, right?
Not my keyboards.
No, they come with the computer. I don't know what you guys think about it.
Is your caps lock reassignable?
When I reformat to Linux again, it will be, I'm sure.
I will say though that another keyboard that I'm a big fan of, and I don't know if Logitech still makes this anymore, but I think it was called the Logitech Ditech. I have that keyboard for home, and it is awesome. Oh, I'm sorry, not Ditech, Dinovo, I guess is how you would pronounce it. They had a Mac version and a Windows specific version, and it was really nice. Again, if you're into a very flat keyboard,
Yeah, non-ergo. It's very non-ergo.
yeah.
So here's what I ended up going with, and so looking at his Wave real quick, it actually has a neat little feel. Like you said, the keys kind of curve in on it, and it was one of the contenders for me. But what did it for me was that little cluster of the home and all that. The function keys are not exactly in the right place, which I think Michael actually brought up to me at one point. Usually they're in groups of 4, and these are all in groups of 3. Which isn't terrible. I mean, it could be dealt with.
Yeah, it's got its pluses and pros, or pluses and pros. It's pros and cons. Yeah, I've had the keyboard now for probably 3 months now, and I still find it a little odd getting used to some of those keys.
Yeah, so I mean, I literally, I don't know what it is. It's my little bit of OCD, but when I went searching, like, I literally spent days Googling. I was on Amazon. I was on every site on the internet looking for keyboards. And it really boiled down to just a handful for me. The Wave was one. It was a contender, but it ended up losing out. The Microsoft Comfort 5000 is actually what I ended up going with. And I'll get to the pros and cons on that in a second. I was looking at the Kinesis Freestyle, which is $300. And here's the thing. If you're a programmer and you do this stuff all day, every day, and it's what you make money with, it's your tool, right? It's a tool for your job. You spend money on components for your computer. So a keyboard is not something you replace all that often, right? I mean, generally speaking, if you have a computer sitting there and that keyboard's working, you're not replacing it. So at $300, it is expensive, but I considered it. My only problem was I read a lot of reviews for programmers, and some of the keys, like your bracket keys, are in odd locations, and so it takes a lot of getting used to. Now, what is cool about it, though, is because of its curved design, it forces you to sit in a proper way, and there's a lot of keys right there at your thumbs. So it gives you the option to use your thumbs for something that you typically, your thumb's just a dead weight there waiting for the space bar. So it was kind of cool. And then I was also looking at the truly ergonomic keyboard, which honestly, if that one wasn't so mind-boggling frustrating with some of the placement of the keys, that would have been the one I got, because it makes a lot of sense. But the keys on that keyboard, ergonomic keyboard, I gotta pull this up and look at it, because I've got to explain the frustration with this thing. If I remember right, like the shift key was moved up, and the control key was in the wrong place. Like every function key that you use as a programmer that you've been using for the past however many years were all moved, and you couldn't do anything about it. You couldn't swap them around. But the layout of the keyboard's beautiful. Like everything's in an angled pattern, and everything's right there at your fingertips. Like you literally don't have to stretch your fingers to get to anything. But ultimately, it just lost for its sheer maddening relocation of keys. So I ended up getting the 5000. Long story short, the keyboard feels good. It has a nice curve to it. It's not like a true split ergonomic. I'm a little bit frustrated with it because the function keys are tiny. They're like right in between the number keys and up at the top a bunch of application keys, which I'll probably never use. So, my thing is, why not give me the full-size function keys? Because we hit F5 a lot. We hit all these things for building and stepping through applications, and it's frustrating.
So Joe mentioned the mechanicals. Like you like the mechanicals.
Yep.
But see, I'm the exact opposite. That was another reason why I liked that K520, because it was a quiet keyboard.
Yeah.
And the Wave that I have now, the Logitech Wave, it's not as quiet as the K520 was.
Not loud, though. But it's not got the clicks. It's not got the mechanical click to it.
Not mechanical clicks, but it is. I don't like a loud keyboard. And to me, like, mechanicals are just loud unnecessarily.
I like to feel like I'm attacking something when I'm coding. I want it to hurt, And one keyboard I've been
You want it
looking
to feel
at-
like it's the 1920s and you're on, like, a room full of secretaries writing out letters to somebody.
That's right. See,
That's random.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
there's the Code keyboard. This is kind of designed in part by Jeff Atwood, and I'm a crazy fanboy of his. But it's actually really nice. It's a mechanical keyboard, but it's also got some kind of modern niceties, like backlighting, and it's got like a really well thought out design and some cool switches for doing stuff like changing that stupid caps lock button.
Wait, I'm trying to pull this thing up. I'm interested. Dude, I don't think I came across this when I was scouring the... Yes, I did, because I had the switches. But it's flat!
Yeah, it is flat.
God,
Because like a good keyboard should be.
But look, there's a graph here of the tactile bump and the operating point and the reset point.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. There's actually another site that I hit that I may actually... I might go crazy on and eventually do this. It's called geekhack.org. And these are people that custom make their own boards. You can relocate keys, and it's driven by open source software so that you can reassign keys. So you can basically buy the switches that you want. If you want that cherry switch mechanical type thing, you can buy it. If you want backlit keys, you can buy them. You can literally redo the entire keyboard and put the stuff wherever you want.
Yeah, but this Code keyboard, I can choose to buy one with O-rings or without O-rings. I mean, this is a machine.
Does it have gaskets too? Cool.
I wish, man. If this thing ran on diesel, I would be so happy.
Yeah, dude, the flat kills me. I need an ergonomic, and
But so this kind of like goes down a little path. Okay, so the chiclet style keyboards,
Yeah.
right? Like this is definitely not that. This code keyboard that you're.
What do you
talking
mean by
about.
chiclet?
Well,
Like
like
on the MacBook
the
Pro.
MacBook Pros, right?
Oh, those little baby keys, those little tiny things
Yeah, the
that you don't even
keyboard
know when
things
it's
are
down
so
or not.
awesome. I love them.
Yeah, my meaty man hands can't tell when the button's down.
but you can because you'll see a bunch of Z's go across the screen.
We apparently have little girly hands.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I actually like the chiclet style. I tried to. Nobody had the Microsoft Sculpt ergonomic on display anywhere that I could touch. I really wanted to try that keyboard out, the one that looks like a big manta ray sitting on your desk. I would have done that. It had the chiclet style keys on it, but I couldn't ever put my hands on it. I couldn't pay $70 for it when I couldn't even touch it. So,
You know, I like. I'm a big fan of the Microsoft Surfaces, but the keyboard that kind of they advertise with the one that is one that really drives me crazy. And I'm glad that it's there. I get that it's a tablet, but man, I cannot tell when those keys are down or not. I just don't get that tactile sense. I feel like I get more tactile response. And I do get more tactile response from my iPhone.
Well, I will say this.
well, he's talking about the touch type Surface keyboard, not the
type
full
cover?
keyboard one. Yeah,
Right.
Because Microsoft has also released another version of that type cover, which is backlit, and then
Ooh, nice.
there's another version of that coming out. I don't think it's out yet of the Surface type cover. That's going to be also an additional battery pack
Oh, nice
as well.
So it'll charge it.
Yeah, but I will say this: being an owner of a Surface Pro with a type cover keyboard, I love that thing. It is by far one of the most used devices I have, but that keyboard can get frustrating to type a lot on.
Oh, it's small.
Yeah, because it is cramped. But I mean that's the nature of the beast, though, right? I mean it's
a tablet.
tablet, but is it? Because it really crosses that line so
It
well.
it does cross the line.
Yeah, you can run Visual Studio on it, so
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
you do.
It's awesome.
But
So-
but getting back to it, the only reason
We didn't want to talk about tablets specifically, but I
yeah.
gotta say, like in the things I like category, the Surface Pro is definitely on there.
Yeah.
And I want to get a Surface Pro too, but I just can't talk myself into it because I already have the Pro.
yeah. So we would like to hear what you guys are using. I mean, heck, it might lead us into finding another keyboard, another device that maybe we overlooked.
So let's talk about mice.
Oh man, there's a mouse that I want. I'm not sure which version. So with keyboards, I kind of feel like I can buy one online because I'm going to adapt to it. But a mouse is typically something that I want to go touch and feel, and I want to make sure it's big enough, it's not too big, it feels good. But there is one mouse in particular that I think I would be okay with buying online if I could bear it apart with the bones, and that is the Mad Catz Rat. So this thing is crazy if you've ever seen it. It looks like a transformer, and it's actually got all these little screws and dials and weights that you can add, and you can fully adjust all the little pieces of this thing, and it's a monster, and it looks radical.
Yeah, it's just I've wanted it. I for a while now. I have tried to talk myself into buying it because it is fully customizable. You can alter everything about it so that it fits the shape of your hand the exact way that you want it. But they're wired because it's for game. It's really for gaming, and I really prefer a wireless mouse. And they do make one, if I recall, wireless. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that upped the price even more.
Yeah, this thing already cost 3 Raspberry Pis, so this is like $100 mouse.
I'd never even seen this thing until you guys started talking about
It
it.
is so fantastic.
It looks like a transformer.
It's got counterweights in it that you can move to where you to make it more comfortable for you to move it around, and depending on how much weight you want, you can add or remove the weights to it. I mean, it's really a well thought out design, so that in terms of allowing you the ultimate flexibility to make it conform to your hand, but it's not a cheap one.
So
That's
the
pretty cool.
the wireless version is the Rat 9, and it is $160.
Yeah, that's pricey. But when it comes to mice,
I like
going
how he
with
just moves on. That's pricey, but
yeah, I mean, there's a reason. So here's the deal, right? Going with the tool analogy, a mouse, for the most part, they're kind of like laser pointers. Well, this thing is a freaking chainsaw, right? If your mouse is a laser pointer, this is like a sniper rifle. Just look at it. We'll have a link in the show notes, and just go look at this thing. Set it as your wallpaper for a couple months.
I mean, it is absolutely fascinating.
It's cool.
You do kind of like. There's a part of you that when you do look at you do kind of get a little bit afraid that it might, come out and attack you.
And
like
bite
you're
you.
expecting like little red beady eyes to come out of somewhere, and say, "I'll be back."
Yeah, it's funny because I am so anti-mouse. As I mentioned, I had an Adesso keyboard with a built-in mouse pad or a trackpad. Like, I actually went and spent money for the Apple Magic trackpad. I love trackpads. Like, I prefer not to use mice. I think it's a waste of movement of my arm. I should be able to move my fingers and do whatever I need to do as a
So
programmer.
you're a fan of the trackpad?
I love the
Magic
trackpad.
trackpad.
I love it.
You?
I love it. I do love it. But I also play video games. And actually, if you guys hit me up on Coding Blocks, I will add you to my Steam friends list, and I will blow your face off in Loadout. Look at this thing. This thing it looks like a cloth cable. I mean, this is just a beautiful mouse. I haven't even looked at any other mice. I don't even know what's out there. This is it.
I'm not a fan of trackpads, but I do have the Magic trackpad, but I prefer the Magic Mouse over the Magic trackpad.
Yeah, I don't like mice.
Hands down, without even question about it. But there are a lot of crazy gestures that
Yes.
Apple supports on it.
The forefinger pinch, the swipes.
Yeah, and not all of those gestures are available on the Magic Mouse, but the Magic Mouse just feels so much better to me. It's a weird thing because I like it because there's less to go wrong with it, right? I mean, it's basically just one big click, button on
I'd
it.
agree with that.
And nothing to touch on it. Unlike the Rat, where you could lose an infinite number of screws on that thing.
You
but-
fix it yourself with duct tape.
Yeah. Okay, so it's sponsored by NASCAR. But the I do really like an ergonomic mouse though too. So it's kind of like that. The Magic Mouse is it gains on one side by having less moving parts, but then loses on the other side because I'm pretty sure that's not an ergonomic mouse.
No, not even close. I will say, ergonomic mice are okay. I still don't like using them, but I like the feel of them. Like, I guess...
because you like to use a little bitty 2-inch touchscreen to go zooming across multiple monitors.
It's fantastic, man. So, yeah, those are some of the things that, I mean, we use all the time. So it's important. And I'm just curious what other people have found works for them because, I mean... I moaned about this thing for days when I was looking for the keyboard, and then I ended up getting the mouse and all that kind of stuff. And I'm somewhat happy with it, but not fully.
So I got to imagine for that when you had your Adesso, you must have had your mouse sensitivity just like through the roof.
It was the highest setting it would go. Like literally, I could go across 2 screens with one swipe because I had acceleration turned on and everything. It was beautiful. I miss it. I do miss it.
I bumped the acceleration up, but I don't go crazy with it.
Yeah. I mean,
But
you
then
didn't have a
using,
2-inch touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the other things that comes up for us a lot are chairs. And me and Joe hate ourselves because we sit in these flat, plasticky, hurting, you destroy your back and everything throughout the day. And Outlaw's over there on vacation chilling in his mesh back Aeron. So...
Yeah, if you're not in the Herman Miller Aeron, then you just hate yourself. If you spend as much time in a seat as we do as developers, then I can't imagine any other chair.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but the pricey. So I don't know what it is about me, but I can't spend that much on a chair. But I will totally buy a new video card every 6 months. That's totally fine.
Well, I think another thing that makes it confusing though too is they sell that chair. This would be like the Mad Catz Rat version of chairs, right?
I see
because
that.
it is so configurable, right?
Yeah.
And there's so many different configurations of it, and there's places they'll sell versions that they've already configured that they'll sell, and you'll look at it and say like, oh, that's an awesome price. I have never seen it that low, and it's because there's a lot of the features that you're giving up for it. So the Herman Miller Aeron chair is is the most ergonomic chair, or at least one of the most ergonomic chairs that you can get out there. But if you get all the configurations on it, so
and be prepared to spend. I mean,
Yeah.
that HD TV you're looking at, you might as well just back burner that thing.
yeah, I dropped the money on a few of these because like yeah, it's
I
worth
think
it.
I just threw up in my mouth a little.
Well, if you think about it like this, like you probably spend, some good amount of money on your bed, right? And you're spending as much time probably in your computer chair as you are in that bed. So maybe a lot more.
No, definitely. Well, okay. So sadly, I spend more time in the chair.
But I mean, it is one of those things. I mean, again, when it comes down to cost and all these things, we're all cheap, right? Like, well, kind of.
Apparently
it depends
not
on
me.
Yeah, apparently not Mike. But no,
Depends
he
on
is
what.
though. No, it depends on everything else. Like his chair, he'll ball on, but the rest of the stuff, like he's
Keyboard?
I can't do that. No, it's more than $10. I can't do that. So I mean, we all have our things, and really, we probably should be more concerned about our chairs.
Chair and monitor.
Yeah. Oh, and the monitor. Oh my God.
So we're going there.
If you're a programmer,
So
and-
this is where my cheapness comes in because I refuse.
Yeah.
what?
There's the monitor that I want, and then there's the monitor that I have.
Well, hold on though. But you got a 1080p monitor, so
Yeah, I think 1080p is horrible.
it's okay.
That's like the minimum resolution that you should have. My Surface has 1080p.
But hold on. Well, you can't read anything on your Surface at 1080p.
Oh, come on now.
Whatever.
I read
So-
just fine on that thing.
But no. Hold on. So follow me here. For $120 nowadays, you can get an LED edge lit 1080p monitor, right? 2 of those babies and you're rocking. You could
See, I don't see that you're rocking.
Oh.
I say that you're getting by like that.
no,
that's,
you're not eking
That's
by.
minimum.
If you are a programmer now and you're not using 2 monitors, whether it be your laptop plus a monitor or just 2 monitors sitting next to each other, you have no idea what you're missing.
I will say the only advantage to having the 1080p monitors is that pretty much anything you throw at it can drive multiples of them.
Yes.
That's the only advantage to the 1080p monitors. Because if I had my way about
Price.
it would be like 6 30-inch monitors going just wild. That
Don't
would
get me
be-
wrong.
That would be awesome. Some people are audiophiles and they want surround sound. I want surround vision. I want a monitor all around me, just 360 degrees. Any way I look, I'm going to see like, oh, that's the code.
Oculus Rift.
Yeah,
And we're walking through the solution.
that'd be fantastic. And maybe that's going to be my solution. Is I'll just
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I could talk myself into it, I'd have dual 2560 by 1600 monitors sitting around. Although we're stepping into 4K territory nowadays.
well, yeah.
So
I was about to say,
it's-
I think I need a new Mac Pro just to drive the monitors that I want. Because that thing can drive like what was it, 4 or 6 4K monitors?
I think it was 2 4Ks plus an additional others. Was it more?
No, it's more than 2 4Ks. It's at least 4, if not 6, if I remember right. But I'm
That's
pretty sure it's 4 4K
ridiculous.
monitors that it can drive.
Well, see, I'd love to have that many monitors, but I don't really have the desk for it, and they really do take up a lot of room on the actual desk space.
Yeah, so there's some really cool mounts out there that you can get to mount those. Shoot,
I've seen some beautiful ones. Unfortunately, I'm renting now, so I've been a little reticent to hole up the wall. But man, I've seen some ones. I don't even know what they are, but it's like you can kind of swing them around, they slide back and forth.
Oh, it's 3 4K monitors that it
the Mac
drives?
Pro can do 3 4K displays.
Okay.
Pansy stuff.
I don't have any.
Yeah, no, I'm with Joe. Like, I mean, you gotta have the space and all that stuff. Dude, I would kill to have a couple of some high definition, whether it be 4K or the XQGA, whatever it is.
Would you really want 230s though?
Oh, God,
absolutely.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I guess if they're far enough away, then it's all right.
Oh no, I want them right up in my
I
eyeballs.
just think like when I moved out, went to college, like my TV was smaller than 30 inches by far, and I lived with that thing for a long time.
But now,
Maybe I'm getting older.
well, yeah,
And
now
I got more money.
I'm telling you right now, like,
Who was it? Biggie that said it right? Like, mo money, mo problems.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Notorious B.I.G. That's what-
Notorious.
Biggie.
yeah,
Not
Biggie
all
Smalls.
problems are created equal. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't know. Monitors are one of those things. Like, yeah, God, once you have it, it's hard to get away from it.
Yeah, but there's this one company though that I found called Ergotron, and they make some just fantastic mounts for if you're going to have multiple monitors and you want to mount them. They're like really like these are mounts that you don't mind. You want to put them somewhere. You don't put baby in the corner. Okay, so these are ones that you're going to like let people see because they're pretty.
And they're not that
They're
expensive,
nice and
right?
shiny. Oh God, no, they're expensive.
Oh, are they?
Oh, man.
For a mount, they're like a couple $100.
Oh, come
for
on,
one
man.
that does too. But they're among the better looking ones. But yeah, they that's why I said you don't. That's why I said you don't put baby in the corner.
Yeah, now this is for a spaceship now. I can get behind this.
Yeah, it was funny because we were talking about all this stuff, and Joe, he was like, meh, on the keyboards.
But they have different ones. Some of them where like if you're going to stack your monitors one on top of the other, or if you're going to put them out side by side.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean, whatever. I'll buy a regular one for $50. But what struck me as funny though is we're talking about all this stuff, and Joe, who is a gamer, you'd think he'd care about the keyboards, not so much, a little bit. The mice he was big on, the monitors, but the desk,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, that's how that was.
That is your castle. The chair, you don't even see your chair, right? You are sitting on
but the
it.
chair is your throne.
I can't even see that throne. Now, the desk is my domain. I am the ruler there. This is my land.
Bring it home, Seinfeld. Bring it.
I do like a desk, and I'm okay with little holes for the cables, but for the most part, I want it to be flat surface, nothing on it.
Oh, I agree.
Now, this never happens, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I end up with all sorts of crap, and one thing we've been talking about lately is to drawer or not to drawer, because it's nice to have the leg room. You know, you're gonna squirm around, especially if you're in a chair for
Drawer.
a long time. But
You gotta have a
I
drawer.
want to get that crap off the desk.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
I made that mistake with my current desk because it doesn't have drawers, and let me tell you, I regret it.
And desk is one of those things you don't get one of those every year.
Oh no, you hang on to those for a decade, right?
It's so sad.
Yeah, I mean, and come on, let's be real. Most of us have desks that we bought from Office Depot that was a solder or whatever, and the freaking top scratched off of it. You know,
So-
it's down through that.
So I will say, like, there's one that I have not been able to talk myself into because it's one of those situations where they don't tell you the price, and I always was raised to believe that, well, if they don't say the price, then you got to ask, then it's probably too much.
yeah, and it probably is.
But
right?
it's a company called TBC Consoles. And for anyone who's ever worked in any kind of broadcasting environment, you already know the type of desk that I'm talking about. They are made to order, and you can specify how big a desk you want it. You can specify if you want. The desk has the ability to have some small, lightweight rack storage in it. Mm-hmm. So, and you can have those rack bays in groups of 1, 2, or 3 pods, depending on how much you want. Now, I say lightweight because you wouldn't want to put like a rack of storage in these because these are being hung at a
Looks like a
only from the
45.
front,
Yeah.
only from the front of the device, and they're being hung at an angle. So this would be great for like lightweight equipment, like broadcast. If you're going to have broadcast monitors or breakout panels to plug in external audio sources or ins and outs for, and you can also specify that you want external satellite stands for speakers to sit on. You can specify how many monitors you want to hang on this thing, and it'll include the racks built into it.
It comes with the secretary.
It'll include. You can specify that you want the to have a tower computer mount for it, and then you can get it so that the desk is mechanically. You can mechanically raise and lower it,
For all you guys
and
listening,
it'll raise everything with it.
he has a tear running down his cheek right
Yep.
now.
Oh my
actually.
god, it's so awesome!
Yeah, if they don't deliver this thing in a limo, I'm going to be disappointed.
It is fantastic, and
It's sick.
I've used them. I've used them many times, and they are so fantastic. But
Yeah, you're gonna have
they-
to take out a second mortgage on your house
to
just
have
get
one
it.
to have one
Jeez.
for home use is not really their market, and so
No, think Fox, CNN.
yeah, you definitely like talking about your broadcasters, and like these are the type of things that you would see in the edit bays, but they are fantastic.
Yeah, they're beautiful. I mean, I'm actually thinking about building my own desk because all the shortcomings that we've talked about before, like, you know, not having the drawer or not having enough desk space or having a cheap desktop, which is annoying. Like, I'm thinking about, you know, buying some hardwood plywood and doing my own thing. You know, create the little rack mounts on the top for it. You
don't want to get a solid door.
No, I don't want
Door
to.
desk?
Nah, don't.
No door desk.
They're not wide enough. Like, so the standard depth of a desk is about 30 inches, which, by the way, you don't realize how useful that is until you start piling your laptop up there, and then you have all this other crap. And because I do video stuff also, I have so much garbage sitting up there that I need to plug in, and I never have enough room. I just basically
had
have
a TVC console, Smart Track. You could just plug it all in and right there in front of you.
Yeah, not happening. Yeah, that's...
We're talking thousands, right? Like
No,
For
probably
the Smart Track,
tens
for
of
the
thousands.
TVC console
for
Smart Track.
the dream desk setup.
For the one that I was talking about, no, you're talking. That's probably somewhere 5-ish.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm that's a pretty strong guess, but yeah, it's not a cheap one.
But if I do one myself, now granted it's going to take me a couple weekends to put together, but I'll be able to get most of what I want, and probably have, I don't know, $500 or $600 in the thing, and it'll be custom. And I'll have my drawers, I'll have a nice finish on it, I'll have my speaker stands, I'll have my monitor, places where those things hook up through the mounts and all that, and it's going to be perfect.
Well, I'm adding this stuff up here. I'm looking at everything we've kind of talked about, like the dream equipment. So next time someone asks me what it takes to be a programmer, I'm going to tell them, you want to be the best program ever? It's about $7,500. That's not too bad.
Oh,
That's without the computer, right?
Best program in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I think that number might be a little bit low, because if we start talking about having multiple 4K monitors.
Oh yeah, I mean that right there is $7,500.
And then you got to have the computer to push that.
Yeah,
That's true.
and the Mac Pro's $3,000.
And those
base.
are constrained right now.
Oh, and the headphones.
Well, the headphones are a
God.
must. You got to have headphones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've all been there. You're sitting in an office environment, and there's somebody that you just kind of want to drown out. So you put on some headphones. What's your cans of choice?
Oh, ooh.
They got to have either wireless or modular cables, because I'm done ruining headphones by wheeling back.
See, I would love to be there with you on the wireless, but I haven't found a set that just work as well. Like,
Yeah, I don't want two AA's sitting up in my eardrums.
Nah, I gotta say, like, I have a decent set of wireless, and I wear them more for convenience than anything else. Like, they're pretty comfortable.
That's the weird one.
The Voxwas.
Yeah.
The Voxwa HD wireless. That's actually a good set of headphones. They're comfortable, but they don't grip on your head
They
very well.
just feel like they're going to fall off.
They do, like,
don't
they slide.
They don't, like, the whole time you feel like
You can't move your head fast.
yeah, you're kind of aware of it the whole time.
Yeah, they don't have a ton of grip.
They look nice.
I mean, Joe's got a fairly inexpensive set of headphones that do a pretty good job, and they are modular.
Yeah, they're like $17, right?
Yeah, so I mean, those are the Monoprice 8323s. I wear so many different sets of headphones. I'd probably say my preferred choice. I don't even know, man.
Well, for leaving at work or for bringing home and taking home in the suitcase. There's different levels of headphones.
I don't know what you're referring to. So yeah, I don't know what you're. I definitely have a few that I try out. I mean,
headphones get up to thousands of dollars, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can spend.
God.
You can.
Crazy.
There's actually some out there for $5,000-$6,000. But no, I mean, for the most part at work, I'm typically wearing something that's around the ear that blocks out enough noise. I usually don't go for the noise canceling myself. But
I do, because sometimes I just don't want to listen to you guys.
Yeah, fair enough. I get it. I totally get it. As we're over there moaning about our keyboards not
Breathing.
working. Yeah. But I like around the ear headphones.
Drinky.
Definitely agree on the cups. Have you guys seen those with the Sony Walkman headphones that they actually sell in bottles of water and vending machines at the gym?
Oh, no.
Oh, these are the craziest things. I guess the idea is that they're waterproof and you can go swimming with them, and they're marketing to swimmers. So they set up these vending machines where you go and put probably $40 in the vending machine, and
So that's
you
fantastic.
get a bottle of water with headphones.
I can go swimming with my headphones, but as soon as I go in with my iPhone,
It's dead.
It's like the Cracker Jacks toy, except it's kind of expensive headphones.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm into that. Like the in-ear headphones, I love those, but they are really a pain at work because every time you start typing, somebody comes up behind you and taps you on the shoulder, and you got to pull them back out.
Well, the only thing that's kind of a hassle with that, though, is that with the in-ears, I do prefer the foam type tips on them.
Yeah, so it takes time.
Yeah, so you end up having to roll them and squeeze them and everything, and then push them into your ear, hold it for a minute while it compresses back out. But those are fantastic for blocking out sound.
Oh, they're as good as noise canceling.
And they're if you travel, if you're a frequent flyer, they're even better than that because I used to travel a lot, and I used a pair of Shure for that, and had a similar tip on there. And the beauty of it is that I wouldn't have any problems with my ears popping when I would get off the plane because I would soon before plane ever even closed the door, I already had them in. I was listening to music or whatever, and I just left them in the whole time, and it was fine.
Yeah,
by the time I got off. But I am with you though that for in an office environment, it is easier to have just a normal set of. But I prefer a closed can that sits over my
around
ear, not
ear,
on my ear, but over.
Well, my favorite thing about the big cans is that when someone does interrupt you, you get to make a big production of taking those headphones off. Like, hold on a minute, let me pause the music, grab the cones, take them off slowly. Like, what is it?
Yeah, the other thing about them that's nice, I don't know if you guys do this, I do sometimes, I just leave them on my head so people will leave me alone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I may not even have anything playing, but they're there and they can see them.
Well, so the set that I use a lot is a set of Audio Technicas, where they're the ANC 7Bs, I believe, and they are modular, so you can swap out the cables, but they are also noise canceling, and there's quite often I won't even have the cable plugged in, but I will have the noise canceling part turned on just because I want to just drown out the other sounds and just focus in on whatever it is that I'm working on at the time.
Yeah, I mean, headphones really are almost an invaluable tool when you work in an office.
I think for a software developer, it's got to be you got to be able to get into your own head sometimes.
Yeah,
I had a good friend of mine who he was mostly deaf. I mean, he legally he was, but he did. He used a hearing aid, and when he wanted to get serious about something that he was coding, he would just turn that hearing aid off, and you wouldn't know it, and so you're trying to call his name the whole time, but yeah, he would have it off, and he was unaware.
One other thing, what about lighting? Like, I know where we work, there's several of us that have unscrewed the light bulbs up above our desk because the glare off of the monitors would just kill your eyes during the day. And it's not because we want to live in a cave, it's just that when you stare at a monitor all day, that glare can really get to you.
Yeah, I really like lighting behind the monitor. So, like above my office at home, I've got like a lamp that sits behind the monitor that kind of shines light against the wall, and so it's like a soft, refracted lighting.
I have a similar setup both at home and at the office.
Yeah, like a little backlight for it.
Yeah, a little mood lighting.
It is. Although I think technically, I don't think it's that great for your eyes, though.
Yeah, probably not. But it feels like I'm in a spaceship, and that's what I'm really going for.
That with the rat now, so it's over.
And as someone who has to wear glasses, I do. At times I'll get the special lenses that have coatings for it for. I don't even remember like all the crap that they call it now, but anti-glare coatings and whatnot, or if you're going to get the anti-fatigue lenses, which is like the set that I have now.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what a difference it can make in your day.
I would talk to you guys about glasses, but, since you guys don't have to wear them.
Yeah, I get yeah.
And we could talk about computers, but that's like a whole nother episode.
Yeah, and we all probably have strong opinions on that stuff. Wait, real quick. i5 or i7 or i3?
I don't even know. This is a commodity, right?
I have an i7 in this.
Yeah, I do on my MacBook. But, there we go. So let's talk about coding real quick on computers. Not necessarily the components themselves, but I actually prefer a MacBook Pro for two reasons. One, they are just built so well.
Flat keyboard.
Whatever. And then two, I'll be hooking up an ergonomic to that bad boy. But no, and then the second thing is, I can run both Windows and Mac OS X on there, and there's
And Linux.
and Linux. I mean, like, yeah, people could argue that you could build a Hackintosh and all that, but you're not guaranteed that it's going to work. And if you are actually using some stuff in OS X, you know, it's really hard
Well,
to get around it.
So I have had a Hackintosh in the past, and it was fun. You know, I mean, there was the challenge of doing it and everything, but where I found that it fell short was it really depended on what you wanted to use it for.
Yeah.
If you were just using it for simple things, then the Hackintosh was okay. But and if everything was going to be third party, it was okay. But if you needed anything that was from Apple, no, you probably weren't going to be able to install it. And so its usefulness for me started to fall short because of that. So
Your preference is Linux, right?
For laptops, yes, but I would say that my favorite tablet is a laptop, and my favorite laptop is a desktop. So I definitely am more of a I want a keyboard, and my iPad's fine for going to bed and for planes, but I definitely prefer a desktop. So to me, even thinking about a work machine and a laptop at the same time, it just kind of doesn't make a lot of sense. But I know I'm in the minority there.
I actually prefer a laptop as long as it's running. I'm not a fan of tablets and desktops. I'm fine with, but I don't like the fact that I can't pick it up and move it where I need to be.
yeah, I in my opinion, like any kind of developer shop, you'd have to have some really good reason why you're using desktops, because laptops makes so much more sense to me.
It's true.
You don't lose if there's a power outage. You don't lose anything because
That's
you have
huge.
a UPS built into it.
Yep.
If you have to go to a meeting, there's so much more productivity reasons that it's like a laptop just makes more sense. But then it's like if you're going to be cross-platform, it's like it kind of makes sense to standardize
Mac.
on the Mac hardware, because you can just run whatever
Everything.
OS you want on it.
Yeah.
That's true, but when it comes to desktop, I can just pop in another hard drive, install another operating system, no big deal. I love upgrading, the RAM and the.
Well, that's fine if you're building a gaming rig at home, but I mean, if you're trying to standardize your IT shop, your developers on a platform, you want to have a bunch of desktops to support,
That's true.
and then have to worry about if the power goes out, you just lost a bunch of productivity because they all just lost their source code.
And it's also a lot easier to get them working from home and all the time.
Snowpocalypse.
That's right, Snowpocalypse Ice Jam.
So, yeah, I mean that was pretty much what we wanted to do, is just share our thoughts on some of the things.
What about we kind of? I mean, he kind of hinted into tablets, and we kind of
Yeah, he wants to talk about tablets. I hate tablets.
hate them.
I love reading comic books on tablets. The X Comics or Comixology app is fantastic.
It is pretty on it. I will give you that.
I don't even know what I like to do on a tablet. Maybe browse the internet a little bit. If I don't have to type anything, I'm good with a tablet.
Now, there are a bunch of really good board games on iPad, and it's to some lesser extent Android as well. But, man, if you're a board game geek, stuff like Small World, Settlers of Catan, all that stuff, fantastic for airplanes.
Cool.
Yeah, I will say that if my iPad Mini is my favorite Kindle, but I'm a big fan of my Surface Pro, which, like we've already said, really muddies the water of PC versus tablet.
Yeah.
If I were going to go that route, the only one that would truly make me happy and probably just get me to jump on board would be the Lenovo Yoga 2. That's because when I want it to be a tablet, it could be, right? I can just flip it around flat and I could lay in bed with that thing. It's going to be a little bit heavy, but fine, whatever. But when I want to type, I have a real keyboard, a real full-size keyboard on that thing that I can use.
And that thing is attractive.
Oh, it's
It
beautiful.
is so lightweight and small.
It's beautiful. That is a device done right. But generally speaking, like tablets, I find so many times that I like to check my email on them. I like to maybe browse the internet and maybe play a few games. But typically, I want a keyboard. I want to be able to type, and I hate tablet keyboards. I hate phone keyboards. I want something I can click on with my fingers. So I don't know. It's not that there's anything wrong with tablets. Obviously, there's lots of people who like them, but they're usually consumers of things. They're not creating things. So from a programmer's perspective, I find them almost useless.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said,
I mean, I haven't written any code on my iPad,
yeah.
and I haven't made any. I haven't tried to administer any remote service on my iPad. Although I know that there's apps out there to do
Yeah.
crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not convenient. It's not the way it's supposed to be done, right? You use your iPad and your Android devices to consume content. I will say there's one thing that I love it for, and that's battery life. If I want to stream
Yes.
from my Sling box and I want to watch TV anywhere in my house without having a TV set up, I can
Well-
plop that baby right there and watch it anywhere in my house.
Okay, so this kind of takes us into a tangent on this same subject though, but so at home for my desktop set up at home though, I'll have I do have multiple monitors hanging from the back of the desk, but there are plenty of times where I might have like one of the tablets playing like the local news or whatnot,
Right.
And just so that it's not taking up one of the main screens and I can move things around. And but I can still see like what's going on. So
Yeah, no, I mean they're fantastic.
It is
for
a great
media
little second
consumption.
screen.
Yeah, media consumption is killer. But other than that, like for anything creative whatsoever,
Well, there's two other places. So there's airplanes, right?
Yeah.
But also the places where my iPad really shines is the kitchen, recipes.
oh
and
yeah,
the bathroom.
yeah. Well, yeah, maybe.
well, now it got weird.
although I will say, they are getting better at creating applications that makes your tablet more of a surface control for other things. So, like, I don't know if you guys have messed with any of like the, and this is more for fun, but like the not MIDI, but like synthesizer programs. You can literally use it as like a control surface for doing music and. And that's really cool. That's fun. And
For
it's
about
useful.
5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Before you're just bored and you're done on the toilet, right? So,
Well, there, you say that there's a program that I use called Mobile Mouse, mobilemouse.com, that's available for iOS for iPods, iPhones, tablets, whatever. And it's a great little mouse app that'll allow you to control like a home theater PC,
okay,
wirelessly.
cool.
So
So I think we've hit on most of our stuff now.
Yeah, that's pretty much my Christmas list.
Yeah. So
we didn't discuss desktop speakers, audio.
I don't even care about it anymore now that I'm into the
Headphones.
headphones.
Headphones
Yeah.
only.
Yeah, even when I'm gaming, like I need to hear if they're on the right or the left.
yeah, I would agree.
I will
I
say
have
that-
I have some studio monitors for mine, but I find that I'd rather plug in the headphones.
Avid makes a reasonably priced set of desktop speakers that I really, really want to talk myself into, but I when I say reasonably priced, I mean they're still they're a few $100s for like a 5-inch speaker, but they look fantastic and they've gotten some pretty good reviews from everything I've seen, but yeah, I haven't been able to talk myself into it.
Yeah, I don't know. Headphones give you so much more of a personal experience, and also you're not bugging anybody else, right? Like you can crank those up as loud as you want.
Nobody's going to hear NWA, but you can crank it up.
Who's aging who here?
Jennifer Lopez.
I meant Miley Cyrus.
Right, yeah, of course, Wrecking Ball. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. We have now given you kind of what we think about and what we use, on a daily basis, or what we don't use, or what we'd like.
Yeah, I'd love to know if there's some great tips out there for like alternatives that we haven't
Absolutely
suggested.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure much like us, you guys all have a bit of OCD, and you've found solutions that work for you. Like if any of you guys know of a chair that is good, that is not a Herman Miller, that we can get for a third of the
Blasphemy.
price. A third of the price.
That'll never happen.
Let us know.
You should just break down and buy one. I'm
can't
telling
do
you.
I can't do it, man.
Yeah, just tweet us or email us comments at codingblocks.net, or on Twitter we are at codingblocks.
And Facebook, as we said earlier,
right.
facebook.com/codingblocks.
Do you want me to repeat the
No,
Google
no,
Plus?
I think we're good with the Google Plus.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, definitely check us out. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, anywhere else, and please leave us a review. I know this particular episode was a little bit different from our other ones, but you know, we wanted to just kind of get some feedback, get some interaction going. So definitely come up, check us out, leave us a comment, and
your reviews on iTunes and Stitcher or your other favorite podcasting source would be very helpful for us and help others to find us as well.
yeah, so very much appreciated. And I think that's a wrap, guys.
Peace out.
Later.